So Eric Adams is trying to act like he got a problem with the migrants so he can get his approval rating back up amongst black people because he has lost it. But at least he's trying to salvage his reputation, because Brandon Johnson, I don't know what the hell you doing in Chicago. Every day I wake up and look at the Chicago migrant crisis, I see Brandon Remus, Uncle Remus, Mayor Brandon Johnson of Chicago, finding another facility in a black neighborhood to give to the migrants. Gene Deal talking about Puff Daddy. JT responds to rumors that she got into a fight with Glorilla at the VMAs. Billy Carson talking about they lied about Jesus. They go whack 100. Somebody talking about 50 Cent. Joe Budden and Drake beefing. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do about the planned of African people in the diaspora? That's the question. They're gentrifying the Caribbean. They're gentrifying America. They're gentrifying certain parts of Europe. They want black people gone from the diaspora. And once they eliminate us from the diaspora, they're going to go after the mother continent. Look at Chicago and New York. Brandon Johnson and Eric Adams need 500,000 lashes apiece. They need to go to the whipping post. And Eric Adams, let me ask you a question, Mayor Adams, Policeman Adams. Let me ask you a question. Why were you so welcoming of the migrants in the beginning? Why was Eric Adams so welcoming of the migrants in the beginning of the purge? Because that's all the migrant crisis is. It is a purge of black people by brown people. That's all this is. It's not a migrant crisis. It is a removal of blacks by browns. That's all this is. Call it what it is. Eric Adams, why were you so supportive of the immigration into New York City, and now all of a sudden you anti-migration? You are a fraud. That's what you are, Eric Adams. And the only reason why you're acting like it's a problem is you're messing with your popularity amongst the blacks who you need to vote for you for re-election. See, Eric Adams knows he may have just fumbled his way out of a re-election in service of black gentrification. So Eric Adams is trying to act like he got a problem with the migrants so he can get his approval rating back up amongst black people because he has lost it. But at least he's trying to salvage his reputation, because Brandon Johnson, I don't know what the hell you doing in Chicago. Every day I wake up and look at the Chicago migrant crisis, I see Brandon Remus, Uncle Remus, Mayor Brandon Johnson of Chicago, finding another facility in a black neighborhood to give to the migrants. I've never seen nothing like it in my life. I've never seen nothing like it in my life. Every day I pick up the newspaper, Brandon Johnson, we're going to open up the old high school. We're going to open up the old middle school. We're going to open up the old elementary school. We're going to open up the old community center. We're going to open up the old police district. We're going to open up the old firehouse. Brandon Johnson, if you couldn't operate those institutions for black people, Brandon Johnson, if you couldn't operate those institutions for black people, Brandon Johnson, if you couldn't operate those institutions for black people, how did you find money to do it for illegal immigrants? And you know how you know that this is a federal agenda? This ain't local, this federal. Because the governor of New York ain't got no problems with it. The governor of Illinois ain't got no problems with it. The state legislature of New York ain't got no problems with it. The state legislature of Illinois ain't got no problem. Nobody got a problem with the fact that the governors of Texas and the governor of Florida flew and drove migrants halfway across the country to already overpopulated cities. Now, who does that make sense to? Does that make sense to any of you? You got a migrant crisis, but you're not going to take them to states that have a lot of space. You're not going to take them to Utah. You didn't take them to Wyoming. You didn't take them to Maine. You didn't take them to Vermont. You didn't take them to North Dakota. You didn't take them to South Dakota. You crossed over the entire country and brought these migrants to the two largest cities in the country, the two blackest cities, the two most crowded cities, the two most economically distressed cities. You did it because they are there to replace black people. Whoa. We're going to talk about it in Chicago, November the 2nd. We're going to talk about it in Chicago, November the 2nd. We're going to talk about it in Chicago, November the 2nd. But I want to close with this. Let me close with this. As bad as we have it, as bad as Africans in the diaspora have it, from the Caribbean to South America, I'm sure it's the same in Panama, Europe, Canada, Australia, as Africa, as bad as we have it. If I go on Instagram right now, there's not a serious conversation taking place about what we need to do. If I go on YouTube right now, let's go to Black YouTube. Watch this. Let me show you how mentally sick we are. We are in a state of crisis and we still won't concentrate on our problems. I'm going to go to YouTube. Watch this. I'm going to go to YouTube. And I'm on YouTube. Let's look what we have on YouTube. Gene Deal talking about Puff Daddy. Let me go to the next one. No disrespect to Gene. I'm just going right down the page. I'm scrolling right down the page. Gene Deal talking about Puff Daddy. Somebody talking about Deion Sanders. JT responds to rumors that she got into a fight with Glorilla at the VMAs. Billy Carson talking about they lied about Jesus. JJ Redick responds to Kwame Brown. There's a dating app. Somebody's talking about LeBron James. They go whack 100. Somebody talking about 50 Cent. Joe Budden and Drake beefing. Don't disrespect to nobody. No disrespect. Somebody about Deion. Shannon Sharp having a conversation at the Shay Shay house. Jay-Z was mad at me. Napoleon talking about Snoop Dogg. A Red Man freestyle. Another debate. Mason Keefe D. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Lavelle Crawford, comedian. 49ers beat the Cowboys. Somebody talking about their baby mama. Gangsta battle rap. LeVar Ball on Vlad. DJ Envy got beef with the credit dude. Lil Wayne and Jermaine Dupri salute Lil Boosie at the BET Awards. Jay-Z's unbelievable beats. No disrespect to nobody I named. No disrespect to nobody I named. No disrespect to nobody I named. I just went through about 10 YouTube pages. Not a single conversation about gentrification. Not a single conversation about mass incarceration. Not a single conversation about miseducation. Not a single conversation about police extermination. Not a single conversation about economic apartheid. Not a single conversation on how we going to build a school, how we going to build a bank, how we going to open up a supermarket, a hospital, some jobs, distribution. Go on YouTube. We ain't talking about shit relevant. We ain't talking about shit important. It's old shit, celebrity gossip, who got locked up, who gonna win the Super Bowl, LeBron James hating on Dion, allegedly, LeVar Ball talking his shit on Vlad. 1,000,001 podcasts, and ain't none of them talking about shit that matters right now. I ain't got a problem with nobody I mentioned. I just went down YouTube, calling out titles of content. Titles of content. Somebody on there talking about aliens and shit. Let me say this about the alien agenda. Let me give you Dr. Ifa Tunde's position on the alien agenda. If they not coming down here to help us fight white supremacy, I don't give a shit about no aliens. Let me say it one more time. If they not coming down here to build no institutions and help us fight white supremacy and stop police brutality, I don't give a damn about reptilians. I don't give a damn about people living under the earth. I don't care about the second dimension, the third dimension, the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension. I don't care about a third galaxy, a fifth galaxy, a sixth galaxy. I don't give a damn about how many flying saucers you Negroes done seen in your backyard while you was high on weed. I don't give a damn. Are these aliens coming to help African people? That's my only question. Because if they not coming to help African people, I don't give a damn about no aliens. Don't be asking me about no pseudoscience bullcrap distracting black people from their immediate problems. Everybody got a podcast, but nobody talking about anything important. Everybody got a podcast, and nobody's talking about anything important. Everybody got a podcast, and nobody's talking about anything important. Psychological holocaust. If you need to reach me, 215-989-9858, 215. Number 6, can we please stop bunny hopping? They said Scottie Pippen's Snow Bunny is getting half his retirement. What kind of shit is that? How do you take that man's retirement, half of his retirement, and give it to a bunny? Tiger Woods lost $1 billion to a bunny. You got black men every day losing their wealth to a bunny.